and welcome back to another episode of the Playing with Power podcast, the retrospective journey through the Nintendo Power magazines of our youth. We've made it up to Volume 64, which is September of 1994. Ben is not lending his dulcet tones to us tonight, or today, or whenever you're listening to this. He's on vacation with the fam, so that leaves me, John, with our forever Canadian friend Mike.
Hi.
Any housekeeping we have to do before we get started?
Just hi. This is the Mortal Kombat issue, and
we haven't even. We can get to that.
Oh, we're gonna just catch up on how we're doing. How you doing, John?
Let's just rip right into it. It's all good. All right. So cover.
Well, I got news. Thanks for asking.
That's going to start again. All right. I said. All right. Okay. All right. What do you have going on, Mike?
I got a new job.
Hey.
Yay.
Do you just go to the park and there's a hole in the wall and whatever comes through you have to suck it?
No, it's someone on Facebook said that a coworker had quit on them and they didn't want to work the weekend shift alone. So they just said that they just said what the job was and that it was a night janitor at a hotel.
Hey, well, you don't sleep at night anyway, so that seems perfect.
Yeah. Maybe by the time I'm done, the buses will be running. So yeah, I get there and I get back.
Welcome back to the world of the gainfully employed.
Yay! I hope this will last at least a couple months.
All right, so let's see. Volume 64, as we said, is, well, as Mike kind of alluded to, Mortal Kombat 2. We have a rather ominous cover here with Scorpion and some sort of dragon, hand-drawn dragon, like in the background of the image. He's kind of peeking his head out over the Nintendo Power logo. You can only see the W-E-R and Power.
It's like a weird dragon bird.
Yeah.
'Cause it's got like a beak instead of a snout.
Yeah.
Weird is it? Like, it doesn't even look like the Mortal Kombat dragon.
No.
That we all know.
Yeah, so
Scorpion looks pretty neat, though. He's got like his mask on. But instead of looking like it usually does, this one it's like just flat out being a spinal cord.
Yeah.
With the rib cage.
It kind of looks like if Scorpion was like on an episode of the X-Files or something. I don't know. It's kind of got this like blurry like look to him. He's got the soulless like yellow, intense yellow eyes going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like one of Christian Bale's blue flower hallucinations.
God, I need to watch that again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's like if Scorpion was in the Misfits.
There we go. Let's see, what else do we have? We have a Killer Instinct 6-page exclusive, and
it's funny how they have to go like so many pages into it's a fighting game.
Yeah, not a lot of love for the fighting game in you, is there? You're not a big fighting game guy. So, all right. Anything else we want to talk about? The strong like yellow hues to this cover. So, I mean, it maybe brings out some hatred in you because there's some Nintendo orange there going on for you.
Anyway. Brown is the color of Nintendo.
Mike just this rage builds up whenever he sees that color. All right.
In a Super Nintendo game, it's fine.
So, let's see. We have inside the cover. We have a new ad. It looks like it's a gentleman with a goatee, an Animaniacs hat, a pierced tongue, and a flannel shirt. You can't get much more early 90s than this. Actually, I don't know. Is that tongue piercing resting on his cheek, or does he have or chin, or does he have like a piercing through his chin as well?
I would say that it's like a long curved barbell.
Yeah.
That he's resting it on his chin. And it's probably not the only thing he rests on his chin.
Yeah, the dudes with the tongue piercing, never been a thing I quite understood.
Well, like remember Chris Rock in that album? He goes, if a girl has a tongue piercing, she'll probably...
Leave it.
And if a guy has a tongue piercing...
Drop it! Anyway.
Yeah, this guy looks like Limp Bizkit during his, like, cute phase.
It's Fred Durst, by the way. But yeah. All right, and let's see. So the ad says Nintendo Power is already packed with killer tips. Explaining body piercing to parents isn't one of them. Unless you've got parents who are roadies for a hardcore band, a little trip to the tattoo shop means a lot of trouble, especially if you spout off about the freedom of expression. But big time punishment isn't so tough to take as long as you can dish it out. That's where Nintendo Power comes in. Every issue is packed with fighting moves, codes, maps, and other tips that'll help you get into all kinds of trouble, and you'll still come out stoked. Ugh. You can't just beat Nintendo Power.
This was the 90s.
Yeah. Ugh.
The hip 90s.
At $18 a year, asterisk Canadian residents pay $25. You sure can't beat the price. So pass on the body piercing, just join the club. After all, jamming a needle through your tongue doesn't feel so good, and it's definitely nowhere near as fun as punching holes in the competition. The Chris Brown ad campaign. Alright. So, yeah, they definitely, it's, the only thing that's really cool about this, the ad at all is that Animaniacs hat. That's not bad. Like,
yeah.
I don't even know if they intentionally, like, I don't know. You would think you would have like a Nintendo Power hat or something, but no.
Yeah, that seems like a little like mixed branding right there.
I don't. Yeah. All right, and then we have.
I can't wait for that show to come back.
Anime. Oh yeah. And then let's see. We have a Phony Hawk again. That's nothing new.
Yeah.
And the table of contents we have for the Super Nintendo. We're gonna have Mortal Kombat 2, Super Bomberman 2, Pocky and Rocky 2, the Sports Scene, Blackthorn, Aerobiz Supersonic, Vortex, and Shine's Revenge, with 2 Game Boy games, Tasmania and Christmas Island Capers, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
And then there's Nintendo.
There's also the Killer Instinct exclusive. There's also a Making of Donkey Kong Country behind the scenes, as well as a continuation of The Secret of Mana, special from last month. So...
And Dick Noseboy is into water sports this issue. He's got his Game Boy mounted onto the handlebars of the water skier's rope. The water ski handle, yeah. And then the wave behind him that he's like cutting out is actually spelling Nintendo in the water droplets that he's spraying up in the air. So yeah, he's having a fun old summer. So let's see. Yep. You can just hear it in the background. Are you ready for the summer? Are you ready for the sunshine?
Summertime. That DJ Jazzy Jeff. All right. Let's see. All right. Players Pulse. We have a tied up crocodile. Looks like he did some croc hunting, Steve Irwin style, and tied up a crocodile as the sort of the placeholder for all the players' Pulse graphics. Do you want me to get in the first letter?
Yeah.
All right. Mark Mora of Canoga Park, either Canada or California, writes in, I love your quick plays of Star Tropics and Crystallis. They were a big help. I would like to see more quick plays on such games as The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Jurassic Park for the Super Nintendo. These would really help. Thank you for your time and energy. So that's, good suggestions. I don't know if they will or not, but...
And then Christopher Maddox from Surrey, British Columbia sends a letter saying, around my birthday, I received your Super Metroid subscription offer. I didn't have the money at the time, so I set it aside. I opened the next letter. It was a birthday card with $30 in it. I decided right away to renew my subscription. I'll be a member very soon. Thanks for picking the right time. It's kismet.
Wait, so... Is that $30 like Canadian money?
I would hope so.
So it has like the Queen on it, so it's like not legit. All right. So let's see the next letter from Daryl Olthoff from Astoria. Olthoff from Astoria, New York, writes in, I purchased Super Metroid a week before I completed it, and I must say it was a most excellent game. Once I started playing it, I couldn't stop, like heroin. In fact, after I beat it, not like heroin, I started playing it again to get the better ending. By far, Super Metroid is the best game I've ever played on any system. I had a Super NES basically since it was released, and I'm totally pleased with it. I used to have a Genesis, but I just didn't do it for me. The only use I had for the Genesis was to sell it to get money to buy my Super Nintendo. I'm a hardcore game player, and the longest it usually takes me to beat a game is a week. The quickest a day. I totally hate the concept of the Game Genie. I think it's cheating. I think cheating is not the answer to finishing a game. Oh. Boo! Alright.
But it is a way to finish your marriage.
Alright. Want to finish this up?
Matt Smith. One of my second favorite Doctor Who. From Dayton, Ohio, says, last September my brother turned 9. He got Game Boy for his birthday, so he wanted a Game Boy cake. My mom made him the cake. Could you put it in Nintendo Power and we see a fucking beautiful cake?
Yeah, she did a pretty good job. The mom could be on like one of those like Cake Master, TV shows or
yeah, Mom Knows Best.
No, like the ones where the cake shows. There's all these like cake offs and stuff, like where people make decorative cakes against each other.
Oh yeah, Cake Wars. Yeah. Cake Boss.
Cake fights.
And then we get to see envelope art with a fantastic Star Wars style poster with Darth Vader and Rogue Wings flying over his face with R2-D2 in the front. Next to Samus with a smoking blaster, and then Sigma from Mega Man X, and then Samus emptying out her septic tank, or using a flamethrower. Which, if you have like a rocket on your arm and just one arm, you're gonna be flying like really fucked. But it still makes a good poster. It still makes a good envelope. Like there's like all the joints and everything are drawn perfectly on Samus on both these things. It's fantastic.
Yeah, both the Sami were well done. So,
and then we get to see the Mana Beast from Secret of Mana adorning an envelope, which
like an oddly seductive Mana Beast.
Yeah, kind of like hiding behind it, like, you want to see my thorny maybe? Whatever.
We have a Clay Fighter envelope, and finishing it off this really awesome Beavis and Butthead, like, mashup with Mario and Luigi. They're on the couch playing Mario and Luigi in the style of Beavis and Butthead are playing.
He goes, hey, is Nintendo Power is on Nintendo Power magazine? Cool, bro. That future above. I can't read it. Can you?
Yeah, good job. No, because I'm whatever. Okay.
And they even got shirts on, like Mario's got like a Contra 3 shirt, and I think Mario Beavis has what would it be, Castlevania?
I'm not zooming in to look at it. I don't care. It's just, it looks cool from like regular reading distance. Don't kill yourselves, people. All right.
It really is fantastic. Like, just shows like even cultural mashups. Before the internet was prominent, people were still doing mashups.
And then let's see, they have this month they go back to the contest winners, and they have the Baja 500 contest winner. Things could not have been much better for Adam Rhodey. Not only was he selected as the grand prize winner of the Players Poll contest from Volume 56, he was the winner of arguably the best contest Nintendo Power has ever staged. Adam and his parents, Dan and Sandy, flew into San Diego all the way from Toronto, South Dakota. What? There's a Toronto, South Dakota?
There's an Ottawa, Kansas.
Alright, sorry. Toronto, South Dakota. Wow, there's a Toronto, South Dakota. That's like when like Paris, Texas. All right. So
and then
all right.
Paris, Kentucky.
All right. Yeah. So okay, they flew all the way from what they say South Dakota and made their way across the Mexican border into Ensenada, where the race started. The morning before the race, the roadies had breakfast with Ivan Stewart, and later that day, Ivan took Adam off for a wild ride as he pre-ran part of the course. Having played Ivan's video game Super Off-Road, the Baja, Adam said he wanted to shout "Arriba, Arriba" every time they got air. On race day, Adam and his parents hopped in a Toyota 4Runner and raced from pit to pit on the Baja back roads to see action when Ivan stopped for fuel and repairs. They followed Ivan's stats by radio, listening to transmissions between the driver, chase helicopter, and the pits. He fought his way from last place starting position to first, and best of all, they were standing at the finish line screaming when Ivan took the checkered flag. So, that's pretty cool, I guess.
And he still hasn't given it back.
All right. There's no letter from Gail. So we head right into the game coverage. We have the cover game, Mortal Kombat 2.
Yep, and we get to
more
see
Mortal Kombat.
a babality.
Do they have a babality in there?
Yeah, it says right there. And next to a friendship.
I remember the friendship ones. I always thought those were funny. But
he's got like the IGN
Activision
LJN
rainbow?
the LJN rainbow.
Yeah. So yeah, babality was like if you win as a female character, you can like, or is it any character you turn them into a baby?
Yeah.
I forget. I remember some of the cartoon ones or the arcade ones. They like unzip their shirt and stuff, and like so everybody would try to win as that character just to like. Anyway, yeah. Neither Mike nor I are giant fighting game guys, and obviously Mortal Kombat 2 was very much in the same vein as the first one. So.
I do like some of these the covering moves, like for Jax. We get to see one of his finishing moves, the clapper.
Clap on.
Clap off. And we get to see the guy do a Hulk-style thunderclap on the guy's skull.
What is pretty helpful here is they give you the combo. So they say, like, press and hold, low punch, toward, release, low punch. You know what the comedian Gallagher does to a watermelon? Well, Jack does the clapper with his same results. So that's really cool that they at least put in like how to perform, because that was my biggest problem with these stupid games was like I'm not going to sit around and figure out the button combos for, you know, when on like the rare occasions I would actually win, like figuring out like what the fatality is. So yeah, sorry Mike, I cut you off.
Oh no, we just get to see his we also get to see his babality. And it says like it only works if you don't throw any punches in the final round of the match. So, you know, you have to go like out of your way to do that. But the friendship is neat because he does a paper cutout, like little paper dolls. And next we see Liu Kang doing his bicycle kick.
Yeah, that thing's devastating.
And then a fireball. And then a dragon snack.
That's his fatality.
Yeah, and then the babality, it just turns them into a baby. There's nothing.
Yeah,
really
probably
there.
that's all these is that you turn the
friendship. The friendship is really good though, because a charter member of the 70s Preservation Society, Liu Kang is on a mission to bring back disco dancing, and it shows him cutting some rug.
Yeah.
And we get to see Kung Lao, who throws his razor blade rice patty hat. And he does.
No, he doesn't. It's not a rice patty hat, but it's like whatever. It's like something like that though.
And then he has the Siamese cut, which he just runs his blade through the middle and bisects his opponent.
Yeah, it basically like puts your opponent like through a bandsaw effectively with your hat being the blade. So,
and his
let's see
his friendship. His friendship is pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. We also have Barack Obama, who his fatality is lift him. And
his friendship maneuver is showing you his birth certificate.
Yep. And let's see. Johnny Cage, he has a heads up, which is just an uppercut, you know, like splattering the head into like a artistic like blood splatter on the wall behind. And then let's see. The friendship, I think he gives like a signed photo of himself. Yeah, it's super Johnny Cage.
He gives that a headshot.
Yeah.
And his torso ripoff. The first picture, we get to see him looking like he's frisking Melina. Yeah. And then he gives her the ultimate frisking by giving her a cavity search through her spinal cord.
Yeah, and Melina like rips off her mask or something, and it turns out she has like a freaking giant, you know, dragon jaw sort of thing, sucks in her opponent's body and spits out the bones. It's pretty weird, but it's kind of cool when you see it. Friendship, I think she blows a kiss.
Well, no, it says that
a lovely flower floats at the feet of the fighter that she just defeated. No, I was wrong. But she like does something with her hand. Like I forget exactly. She does something kind of.
Well, the
whatever.
man-eater, as we get to see above, she inhales her opponent and then spits out the bones.
Oh, only what
Like
I
a
just talked
fucking
about like
an
10
idiot.
seconds ago.
Well, you said she rips off her mask and shows like dragon teeth.
Yeah, because and then she eats the opponent and spits out the bones, like what I told
okay.
you. You weren't listening, of course.
I was trying to
Tell us about Katana.
All right, we get to see Katana. She does things like the fan left, which really looks like she's just trying to show Liu Kang her Wi-Fi signal. And then we get to see a fan throw where she gives Scorpion basically the fan into his guts, and then the head chop where she uses her fan for the obvious purpose. But the friendship is...
She gives a cake.
and no Little John accompanying it, though.
No.
It's a piece of cake to bake a cake.
And then we have, let's see, Raiden. A lot of head exploding fatalities in this one. But yeah.
Yeah,
And then his friendship is a little Kid Thunder comes out. It's a little smaller version, joins him and like celebrates with the guy that you've beaten. So that's kind of funny.
It's probably one of the animators put his kid up in a costume and they took the picture of him and said, like, you want to be in the game? Which, that is a cool dad. He's like, how would you like to be one of Raiden's finishing moves?
Okay. And then let's see, we have Reptile, who always felt like a Scorpion Sub-Zero, like just like, oh, we need another one of those guys to me. So I've never really played much as Reptile, but his fatality, he goes invisible and rips the torso off. And in the friendship, has a career as a salesperson to fall back on with I can't read what it's saying because there's like a cloud behind it.
How about having your own personal bodyguard? Buy a doll. Oh, so he gives you a Reptile doll.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. And then we have Shang Tsung. Everybody Shang Tsung tonight.
Yep.
Wasn't he the rest? Like, wasn't he the old guy in the back the first time?
Yeah. It says here he's back from lucky to be alive. He organized the second NK tournament. The only reason he's lucky to be alive is because he blew the first tournament by losing to Liu Kang. Shao Kahn was not impressed, but being the benevolent devil he is, he's allowing Shang Tsung to redeem himself with another round of battles. And Shang Tsung gets to morph, which means you can turn him into any other of the fighters and use their moves.
That's lame. It's lazy.
And his friendship is the IGN, the LGN Rainbow.
The Gay Pride Rainbow. And then we have Scorpion, who has a...
Because he can turn into anything but straight. So get used to it, Dad.
Alright, Scorpion and Sub-Zero. You're probably pretty familiar with them from the first game. They don't really have very much coverage on them. Let's see, Toasty bonus. Toasty, Dad Forward yells this out whenever he appears in the lower right-hand corner of the screen while fighting in the portal. 2-player bouts only. Press up and start at the same time when you see him. Go back to Goro's lair. So it's like one of the programmers, I'm assuming.
And Scorpion, we don't get to see his friend maneuver. We just get to see his fatality, where he rips off his face. And when we say face, we don't mean his mask. We mean his friggin' face, like skin and everything. And he gives like this big scream that turns into an eruption of fire and blood.
And Sub-Zero, he freezes his opponent and shatters the like ice form because that's gotta sting. All right, so onward and upward. What'd you say?
Yeah, Super Bomberman 2. A little guy who's so cute he's got no reason to be that angry.
Yeah. I guess one thing that's good here is like it almost looks as good as the like subsequent Dreamcast games. So, I mean, crisp sprite work. Bomberman, you kind of know what you're getting, like grid-based bomb battles. Like, I don't know.
I was just looking for the guy that did the Mario artwork to see like if he is doing any other artwork, and I just saw on Facebook that Dave Semenko died. Who was he was on the Oilers with Gretzky. He was Gretzky's bodyguard along with Marty McSorley.
The guy from Back to the Future. All right. So yeah, it's Bomberman 2. Bomberman 2 is one of those games like if you have a bunch of friends and a multi-tap, it is the most fun you'll ever have with your with your console. But if you're not playing it with other people, like I could see no reason to ever play through the single player mode of this game. Like it just there's I don't know. I mean, obviously there's they probably have puzzles and challenges and things like that, but like really, Bomberman is all about getting your friends, getting some beers, and just like trying to bomb each other out of oblivion. Like,
well, what a single player campaign! The 5 bad bombers, Magnet Bomber, Golem Bomber, Pretty Bomber, Brain Bomber, and Plasma Bomber are back. So apparently there was a story in the Bomberman 1 too.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's there, but
why?
The value of this is all in the multiplayer. So.
Oh, we get to see some interesting boss battles, which is pretty cool. Like excellent graphics here.
Yeah. The art style is pretty cool too.
And then Pretty Bomber, she sends like a razor bladed daisy after you. I mean, gets to make some amazing faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she even has like a Disney style castle.
Unibomber mails you the bomb.
That's like the secret boss. when you find the wood shack in the Ozarks.
So, yeah, I mean, what would you do to to explain Bomberman to someone that like doesn't understand Bomberman?
It's kind of like, what if the terrorists got to just play with each other?
It's not what it's like, you retard.
What if we took away their cause? What would they do all day? This is it.
Okay. What makes Bomberman is it's like every level is pretty much the same. It's just a series of, I don't know, what is it? It's like 10, 6x6, so like 36 or so blocks. And there's a grid, and so you run around dropping bombs, bombs with different abilities. There's power gloves, there's a kick, there's an extra bomb, there's different stuff you can get. But in essence, like the idea is to set up a series of explosions in a way to like either clear the level or bomb your friends into oblivion if we're talking about multiplayer. So yeah, it's one of those things like it's not that interesting by yourself, but when you have a couple people and you're playing against each other, it's so simple that your friend who's never played it before, after 15 minutes, like can kind of have an understanding of it. So that's why it's like one of those really good multiplayer games, because you don't have to be that versed in the game to be good at it, and it's still entertaining. So that's what it has going for, at least in my book. But anything you want to add, Mike?
Nope. The bosses look neat. Like they seem to be like, at least they kind of break up the monotony.
Yeah, if you're playing through the single player. Yep.
That's all we really got to see here.
Yeah.
But yep.
Let's see that they have some coverage on the upcoming game, Killer Instinct.
We get to see a lovely screenshot of a skeleton with a lightsaber, apparently.
Right. I don't think it's lightsaber. I think it's just an actual sword. But
yeah.
So let's see. They're talking about the Ultra 64 will debut later this year. Believe it or not, here are some images or just a taste of what's in stake for Killer Instinct. So, this did sell a lot of 64s when it came out because it's just such a graphically beautiful game. I don't think you don't see people like having Killer Instinct tournaments to this day or anything like that. I mean, I know they redid a version of it for what, the Wii U, right?
Maybe.
I think they did something. I forget. Again, neither Mike nor I are giant fighting game guys, but they're going through some of it is definitely a graphical pickup to the 64-bit console generation. So they're going through some of the characters that are going to be in the game. Spinal, which is the skeleton Mike was referencing to. Spinal becomes black and white version of his opponent and gains the use of his or her special move. So he's gonna mimic special. There's Fulgore, who's like
the Predator.
Seen in a lot of the Killer Instinct advertising He's like a robot-looking dude. Thunder is a racist Indian, like, warblade guy.
And we mean super racist.
Yeah.
But look at those nipples. They are full on.
And then there's Werewolf and Meltdown. So, Meltdown it personifies the Trump presidency so far. So.
His finishing move is that he tweets how much of a loser you are.
Let's see, we also have Riptor. The Raptor is a cold-blooded killer. He'll attack with his nails, teeth, and tail. He promised to be one of the most unusual characters in the game. There's also TJ Combo, who's a boxer, he's got, American flag shredded, was it singlet, or...
It looks like it's just like a regular... It looks like it's a skyline of a city on on a Star-Spangled jersey.
I don't know. I think it might be shredded at the base, so it's like cut off.
Really can't tell. It's a poor film with a lot of shadow, and we're not just like that's not like a racist thing. It's just like he's like really shadowed out.
And then we have Bee Orchid, who's got one of those 1950s pointy bras on, apparently, because she's just straight out.
And you're looking like a blow-up doll.
Some sort of latex bodysuit on. You can tell what what demographic they're going for that. And let's see, Jago is some sort of martial arts ninja, and Glacius is like Iceman cometh. So yeah, they're working on the game.
Using the same morphing technique that grabbed attention in T2, he melts away into a puddle of liquid metal. It's an amazing effect, and it's only one of the many special moves that will send chills down the spine of his opponents.
So yeah, there's not a ton of information, but they are kind of going through what's here, so it's interesting. It's definitely, you can see the graphical step up that's coming. So we got that going for it. But as most game people have become aware over time, don't trust the PR material too early on, because you never know how much it's been done up. So
Pocky and Rocky 2.
I love the first one. That Pocky and Rocky 1 is a fun game.
Yeah, and this looks like it's just this looks like more of the same.
Yeah.
We get to see a lovely blue dragon with a kid with brown hair and a green gi on. Well, not a gi, more like a kimono. Basically, this looks like an anime version of Scooby-Doo. We get to see Shaggy along with his brown talking companion, who is a furry animal. Except this time it is a tanuki instead of a marijuana-laden dog. Although there is a green leaf being thrown by the thing, so I think Brandon would love the fuck out of this game.
I think everybody would. It's a fun game. It's not too serious, but just constant action. I don't know. I really like these games. Though I will say this does look like they didn't really do that much from the original on this, unfortunately. But the art style's fun.
They say it's a powered-up Pocky. Usually a sequel to an entertaining game means there's twice the fun, twice the action, twice the challenge, and Pocky and Rocky 2 is no exception. The bosses that Pocky must fight with on her way to rescue Princess Luna are especially tough, and she will have to rely on her partners more than ever. In Pocky and Rocky 2, Pocky can throw her partner at an enemy and it will temporarily turn into its magical alter ego, which will crush, blast, or zap the enemy in that partner's own unique way. Also, Pocky can protect her partners in a unique way. She can join them and become one. So you get to turn your friend into a projectile or fuse with them. So it looks like they did up it. So this is not more of the same.
Well, no. Obviously, they made advancements on, but I'm just saying, like, it's still, very distinctively looks like the first game, though, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, the function.
Yes, is more. So
looks great.
Yeah. I like the first boss, Cannibal, which apparently is a cannibal animal. But wouldn't that mean he eats his own kind? Not... I don't know. They kind of messed up that name a little bit. But
Well, a Canima is like a South American lizard beast thing.
It just says Chef Cannibal.
Yeah.
So I'm going with my interpretation. And then let's see, there's kind of an Okami-looking boss here with Foxy.
Basically, like if you evolve your Vulpix incorrectly, it turns into this.
It's like if you don't train your Vulpix properly, that's what you end up with. Impy, which is unfortunately for you, Impy isn't wimpy. Not only is she a strong fighter, she is incredibly quick. It'll be difficult to get good shots when she's running and jumping around, but when Impy stops briefly, throw your partner an attack. Tenji seems to be the best choice, so they're saying grab Tenji.
Next is
Rocky.
Volta, the god of thunder, and thunder and lightning are his main weapons. Pocky should just shoot. And he gets to come after you with, like, lightning rod nunchuck things.
Yeah.
And then a demon gate. After fighting all these bosses, what could be next? How about a fucking door?
Yeah, it looks like it's a pretty formidable door opponent there going on, so... and let's see, so that was, stage 6?
And then stage 7, you get to fight anal beads.
Mm-hmm. And Bolta is like the demon gate, but, full-bodied enemy.
No, Bolta is Volta's brother. And then Demon Castle.
Yep, stage 9 is the final boss. And then Nintendo Power style.
Oh shit, we get to see Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they look like...
Look, it's the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Well, all Leonardo's, but yeah.
It's the copy and paste tool.
And there's this cool artwork with, like, Pocky throwing her card and Rocky with his leaf, like, ready to...
Yeah,
anyway.
They're extreme. They're unleashed.
I don't know. They're fun, stupid, kind of throwaway games, but it's definitely they're entertaining. I don't know. I like the Pocky and Rocky series. So
it knows what it is and it does it right.
Yeah. Let's see the poster this month. We have Donkey Kong Country coming our way. I like the render on this poster isn't all that good. Like, it's kind of got that, like, early Nintendo 64 kind of look to it that you get, where they're, like, trying to render backgrounds and animals in 3D and all kinds of stuff. The game, fortunately, looks much better than this poster does. But I'm still always floored when I see, like, how great the graphics on this game are compared to everything else on the Super Nintendo. Like, they really did, close out the Super Nintendo on an epic note with the Donkey Kong series were really the highlights of the end of the run there. So, all right, sports scene. So Mike's gonna check out for a while.
This is your time to shine.
So we have Troy Aikman's NFL football, the concussion edition. So he doesn't remember any of this, I can guarantee you. But so we have Troy Aikman has his own football game. It looks like I forget who developed this one. Does it say here who's the developer for? It's not EA, I'm gonna bet. You can go to the end of the issue. Talk a little bit about it. I'll find out who did it.
Okay. Well, it says here.
Troy Aikman was done by Williams
Entertainment.
There we go.
It says it in the first line.
Yeah, it involves reading. All right.
Okay, so what's next?
Well,
Troy's Trojan horses.
What are you talking about? Where?
Troy's Trojan horses. The next.
The Trojan horses.
That's what it should be called.
Which page are you on?
The next one.
Sorry. That's not another game. It's still the same game. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, I said
right.
the next page.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Okay.
So there is a mode where you can spread team budget on improving players. So that at least has something kind of cool in there.
Bail money, disappearing hookers.
No, it's like, for instance, you can choose to feed great bales of cash to a cash elephant or spread the wealth around. In the game program, the more bucks you spend increases the effectiveness of players at a position. You can also earn more money by winning games during the season. The result of this customized spending is that players give an extra strategic tool in fielding a champion. So, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. But there's also ability to, like, edit plays. Looks like there's a play editor in there. So that's kind of cool. And then they go on to the coverage of Tecmo Super Baseball.
Well, we do get a play here, a free play, courtesy of Troy himself.
Which is the halfback. Actually, wait, no, it's a fullback in motion across the backfield to just behind the right tackle. The running back runs up the middle. It's probably play action. The fullback goes out in a curl. The far right receiver goes for a fly pattern. The far left receiver does a curl inward, and the slot receiver does a hard cut to the left over the middle. So basically, 3 players running right over the middle towards each other, allowing the defense to give a concussion to whoever catches the ball. So, a la a Troy Aikman du jour. So, all right. Let's see. We also, like I said, we have Tecmo Baseball from Tecmo, obviously.
I like the ad here.
Yeah.
We have the Coach Soaker, not sanctioned by the Professional Coaches Association. It is a 30-gallon capacity, 30 by 30 squirt scope, 2-player adapter. 2-player adapter for a single. Auto icer. Whatever that
Auto
means.
icer, that's funny. Compatible with all sports drinks and body fluids.
Ugh.
So
The Impregnator 2000.
yeah. Finally found something to knock your mom up with. All right. So let's see.
You're gonna give her the Canadian Sniper special.
Jesus. So, the Tecmo Super Baseball looks like you can have a view like where you're playing as an individual, because there's a view where you're like right behind like a single outfielder watching the plays unfold. So it's kind of interesting. It looks like there might be a mode in here where once the ball has been hit, the view shifts to the outfielder who's closest to the ball. At least in theory, you can set the depth of your infield and outfield and shift. Okay, well, all right. Sounds like camera jumps around. Never mind.
And then we get to see fall sports previews with pictures that probably do look good if they were laid in.
You skipped like a whole bunch of shit. What the fuck, man?
It was sports. Okay. All right, tell me what did I miss that was awesome?
There's a parade. You missed a fucking parade.
Oh, I did.
One.
I just didn't. They're all this. It's like a bunch of preppies basically jerking themselves off.
Yeah, a parade. And then, so let's see what else. We also have a Super Soccer Camp, or Super Soccer Champ. I don't know. They forgot the H.
Super Soccer Camp.
So there's USA versus Team.
This one time
versus,
at soccer camp.
They have USA versus Team Pepsi in the right there, and
we get to see Brazil versus the USA.
Oh, jeez, Brazil just is like insanely dominant. That's crazy.
Remember that picture where it had like Nigeria versus Germany?
Yeah, don't spell that out. All right, so it looks like kind of arcadey, so that's kind of cool. It has that going for us. But other than that, not really a ton going for it. So let's see. And then there's looks like a NASCAR game. I don't know. Let's see.
All these pictures look
ESPN's
fuzzy.
ESPN Speed World brings home with the strategies of NASCAR circuit with 15 tracks, burning rubber, revving engines, and enough fumes to choke a giraffe. The ESPN license doesn't bring any of the circuit's drivers, but the tracks closely match the hottest pavement in the country from Oregon to Florida. There's enough variety. Okay, so it's like an unlicensed NASCAR game, just what nobody ever wanted to play. Let's see, what do we have coming down the pipe, as Mike alluded to in the fall sports preview.
Fuzzy pictures
in a Formula One game. Some sort of basketball something or other. NBA Live. Okay, so it's the first NBA Live game. It looks like it's a Super Nintendo version. They gone with the isometric view that everybody loves to hate. So, Alright. What else? What's next, Mike?
Next is a game called Blackthorn, which I have not heard of.
Sounds like a code name for like a British, like it's like a James Bond mission spy name.
It says, "No mercy. Kyle Blackthorn is having a serious identity crisis."
Dude, that's a great porn name. Kyle Blackthorne.
An intricate storyline is woven around this character, and it places him in two entirely different realms.
Realms?
Realms.
You're overwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. He's just nominally whelmed.
I'm the Underminer.
Is he a modern-day, highly trained legendary mercenary, or is he the twin son of an otherworldly king who was sent to Earth to avoid an untimely demise in a world that was falling apart at the seams?
He's neither.
Either case should prove to be enough to build a game upon, but it turns out both are true. What a bonus! Interplay's manual for the game goes into great detail regarding the storyline. It's a good read. You should definitely check it out. For this review, we're going to stick with the gameplay, which, by the way, is very cool. Let me get to see some cool screenshots of red demons in shadow.
This seems like it was made for taste test, by the way, because it looks awful in a good way.
Yep, and we get to see Kyle Blackthorne, which is, again, cashing in on that badass Native American vibe.
Kind of like Rambo, but, yeah, like, played by Adam Beach. Alright, there's also, like, Ganondorf in the mine, apparently. Look at this, like, page 45. Galadriel waits for you at the end of the mine. It looks totally like fucking Gandalf. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
See this?
Yep, Galadriel is Gandalf. Meet your mentor from ages past.
Thou shalt not pass.
Unless thou studies.
So, yeah, the first mission is a mine. You have to fight your way through it, looks like. There's also a tree mission, so it's like Fern Gully or some shit. I don't know.
Revenge of the Ewoks. And then you get to fight a guy called Andromedogs.
It is kind of cool here. They give you, like, what you have to do. So, like, it's like, get the iron key. Use the iron key to open the laser gate. Get the levitator. Use the levitator to get the remote wasps. Use the remote wasps to, like, overtake the upper northeast patriarchy. So, yeah.
Yeah, this game looks like it's worth a tackle.
Yeah, it looks odd in a good way, though. So, there's 4 sections to the tree level. And then the remainder of Kyle's destiny-filling quest is much more treacherous than sections we've covered. Caution, use care, as well as a dose of reckless abandon are what you need. Caution, care, as well as... Okay, that's funny. So, it looks bad, but, like, it might be an enjoyable bad, but it's very likely just bad. That's my reaction to this game.
Next is Aerobiz Supersonic. And speaking of Shall Not Pass, we get to see a stewardess who looks a little more masculine than she should.
Her name's Russell. Yeah, all of these stewardesses are like, they really work on their lats, if you know what I mean. Like, they got very muscle-bound kind of drawing style to them.
Yeah, the next stewardess, we get to see her talking about, like, fastening your seatbelts, which she's got that smirk on her face, like she's into some bondage shit, and you're gonna find out on this flight. So, we've covered this like series before. This isn't a flight simulator. It's an airline simulator. So, like, it's about managing routes and, like, what areas you're going to take on as a company. Like, so it's not actually about the flying. It's about, like, managing the airline.
Yeah, managing the airline, like, tactically.
This is so freaking Japanese.
Yeah.
It's like, how can we make a game fun by sucking all the fun out of it? Oh, well, there we go. That's our first step.
They have introduced the board meeting dynamic, so if you need advice, you can call
This is obviously propaganda for training their kids. Yeah. It's just like, I'll get you a video game, but instead of, like, you don't need to prepare to learn how to fight alien lasers on another planet. You will never come across that. But this is a game that will prepare you for your future.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that, like, a certain certain demographic would really enjoy this. I would actually probably give this a try, just because of the weirdness of it, but I don't know if I'd be willing to, like, really sit through it and like learn the intricacies of it, I would probably get too bored too quickly on something like this. But
yeah, but it's worth at least a first level.
Right.
Try.
Get a feel for it. See if you can run an airline or not. So, all right. Let's see.
Yeah, we get to see the stewardess showing off an air mask with a big smile on her face, and for like her skin is as orange as her hair. Yeah. And her vest. And then we get to see a pilot who has got like a big open smile, like I don't know, he's up to no good. It's like those oxygen masks are really just like sleeping gas. So in the event of turbulence, like this will just like put you out, and then he like gets out of the turbulence, and you know, however you wake up, whatever, just be glad you woke up. And then we get to see the last one. We get to see a girl with cheekbones in her orbital socket. Like the last one, she. Oh my God! It's like if Picasso actually got into like genetic engineering.
Yeah, they got some weird looks here. I don't know. The art style's a little odd.
It's like the stewardess looks like Hillary Clinton with an extra chromosome or two.
No, it's more just like a ton of Botox is what's going on there.
Jocelyn Wildenstein if she flew the friendly skies.
So, all right, and then we have Vortex, the game, which, oh my God, does it look bad.
If MechWarrior if MechWarrior was made with the FX chip.
Wow.
And
this
it
looks
looks
just so bad.
bad.
Oh my God.
And they even get to show us a comic. There's pieces of a comic here that talk about morphing battle system. Your battle simulation is concluded. And we get to see.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like they put a bunch of money into their Nintendo Power coverage for some reason, not realizing that the game was gonna be, oh my God, unplayable.
Star Fox did so good. They thought people fucking love polygons.
Yeah, but this isn't. I don't think this is a Nintendo.
It has to be. Oh. It looks like the
same design team that collaborated with Nintendo on Star Fox. Argonaut Software also did programming on Vortex. So the Star Fox team helped them, but it's not a Nintendo game?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks pretty atrocious. It's... I don't know. I don't even know how to describe... Like, there's just... It's like, you know, just basic polygon battle tank kind of looking game. With just a few items in the foreground and, like, just infinite nothing, just... You know, clouds on the horizon behind you, like on a flat 3D plane.
Think about Superman 64.
Yeah, except somehow worse.
And then we get to see an overhead map, which really looks like Pac-Man, at one point for stage 2. And then we get to see more pictures of these comics. Like they really sunk the marketing into this one.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And I can't look at any of it. It's so fucking awful.
Like this, it just makes me angry. I don't want to play this game at all.
Oh my gosh.
So, let's skip. Let's move.
Get to see Shien's Revenge. One ninja's quest. In a land torn by civil wars, Shien and Asuka have protected the people with their ninja powers. Just when it looked like the fighting went in, an evil power appeared and kidnapped Asuka. Now Shien must begin his solitary quest to save Asuka from an unknown evil. And we get to see him. We get to see a hand-drawn shinobi guy, and it is perfect Rob Liefeld style of a guy with regular sized legs and a upper torso and arms, which are, well, Barry Bonds would be jealous of this guy's frame.
Well, it also might be just be like the way the kimono is like falling sort of thing. I don't know.
But here,
it looks cool. This looks like a fun game.
This is the only time we get to see him, because the rest of it is a first-person shooter, and all you get to see is his hand holding his weird triangular blade.
It's kind of odd perspective for the game. You're right about that.
It's like a scrolling shooter.
Yeah. And see, they say you can use the mouse or the controller to play. You're given throwing stars, ninja knives, slash attack, and magic orb attack. So
This seems to be basically like the Punisher, but the Japanese version of it.
yeah, I could see that. At least the art style and stuff looks cool. I don't know how enjoyable it would be like after a short amount of time, but
Well, only one way to find out. Guest on the taste test, and let's do this.
I don't know if I'm blowing my wad on that one. But let's see, who are the bosses?
You plan on only being on the show once, so you're going to make it count?
Yes. If I am ever on the show. Alright, so let's see. Stage 1.
John has trouble with it because he's just like, I'm already on the same feed. Why would I, I'd have to talk to you again.
No, it's one podcast a week's enough. But if we, maybe during the break, maybe when we break during the summer, I could, or between the next year, I could come and do one with you. That might be doable.
That would be fun.
All right. So let's see. Stage 1, Sawtooth is the boss, which is he looks like
a Japanese version of the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then there's like a dragon boss for stage 2, Cow, who's comes right at the screen. You slash him.
Oh, he's like
cool.
a flaming lizard river serpent. And the rest of it is like weird piranha things.
Yeah.
And also like a Zora from Zelda.
Yeah. And then let's see, stage 3, Wolfgang is some sort of like demon spirit that you battle.
Shoot, why not just call him Death? Because that's what he looks like.
Yeah, he does. Fair bit. Stage 4, Bangal. Bangal is the leader of Genghis Khan's troops. He's big, he's bad, he fights dirty. Shoot 1 or 2 throwing stars. When he's in the distance, then use your knife on him before he rams you with his charge. He has this like loincloth that looks like it's very strategically placed to cover his monster dong. And then
we get to see him do an extreme close-up where he puts his hand up to your face and blocks out the sun, basically like the time I pissed off Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, the views on this are interesting, to say the least. Just the way that they've done sort of the layout here. I don't know.
Yeah. And then we get to see The Undertaker, who has really gone over a facelift since his WWF days.
Yeah. When everybody remembers in 1998 when he threw Mankind from the top of the cage match in Hell in a Cell. What's that stupid meme? I don't remember. Like people
Hell in a Cell.
That. There's like a Reddit thing where like you start telling a story and then you like make it long and winding, and then you everyone ends it with like, oh, and then in 1996 when Undertaker threw Mankind from the top of the cage through a table to end the Hell in the Cell or something like that. Like it was just like, God damn it! Like I thought you were telling the truth, but you're just making up some long story so you could talk about Undertaker throwing Mankind. So anyway, I think this is a good break actually, because there's about 40 pages left or so. So maybe at the hour mark here, we're want to wrap it up.
Yep, sure thing. So thank you for joining us for part 1 of issue 64. We will be seeing you.
Nintendo 64.
Woohoo! Conspiracy.
Numbers mean things. All right. So yeah, Mike, if they want to reach out to us, let's see. The Facebook group is probably the best way, but so Playing with Power podcast on Facebook. We also have our website, playingwithpowerpodcast.com. If you could please leave us any reviews on iTunes, it would be appreciated. That's the best place to leave a review for the podcast rankings. And Mike's champing at the bit to say something.
We can also be reached at playingwithpowerpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show, pay us tribute, there is patreon.com/playingwithpower.
And there's Twitter too if you want to twat at Mike. So
no, twat is the past tense.
Oh, okay, I twatted. All right, yeah, that's right. Okay, so Anything? And then, Mike, any projects you're working on?
Well, we got the Graveyard Shift still going strong. Next, by the time this airs, our latest episode will be The Shining.
There's already more fans for that one than this one, so maybe we need some plugs over there. But all right, and with that, you want to take us on out, Mike?
I'm Mike,
and I'm John,
and you've been playing with Power.
Entertainment system. Now you're playing with